Tozana bogogo nomkhulisalo kwasendoda uGogo Bathini Mbatha. Uma vula kuvela emzini amadoda, it's been very long, a month full now. Am I aware of that? Being busy umsebenzi wedlozi preparing things that were left over by other rituals and everything. I always like to focus whenever I do something. Namhlanje sithi idlozi is not always right. Our ancestors are not always on point. Remember, they were humans like us. Now they are humans in spirit. So they are not perfect, guys. They are not perfect. You will find instances whereby you do something, you go out, they tell you what your ancestors, they need this, they need that, they need this, they need to be they are at the gate, they are not inside the yard, or when you brought them inside the yard, there was one that was left outside. He's the one or she's the one that is blocking your stuff and everything. I'm not disputing that. Definitely not disputing that. Definitely, I'm not saying it's lies. But let's bring in a time frame of ancestors and our time frame. It's not the same. Meaning, you're going to do something and you're going to wait forever or in vain, because you are dealing sometimes with ancestors that you don't know how do they perform. You don't know how prompt they are when it comes to delivering what you have asked for. If you do have that time, it's okay, but don't blame your traditional healer. Don't blame your healer to say, no, Gogo mkhulu, I brought you at home to fix the issue of umsamo. Still now, 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, things are quiet and everything. Don't blame us. Don't. There is no traditional healer under the sun that has the control of when things are going to open after you've performed a certain ritual in regards to issue of ancestors. There isn't. I'm waiting to meet one. If there's anyone that says I am about to Kamba Manga, I can perform miracles. If I did something to you within a day or two, things will open for you. To me, which means you have closed those things. There's no way. You can do it right, you can do it proper, you can do it professional, but you still, as a healer, rely on the ancestors to respond the way they want to respond. And the way they want to respond is not always on point. That's where I am. That's why we're saying today, our topic says, ancestors are not always right. Sometimes they've made you perform the ritual that you were not supposed to perform. You've performed it in a wrong surname. You performed it in a wrong time. There are certain rituals that are done in certain seasons. Not all the rituals are done just anytime. I must do something for my mom. My father passed away. We're doing a cleansing for our mom and everything. And then I'm going to have money in December because of I'm bonusing. You're wasting. It's a bribe. It's a bribe. Cleansing of a widow is done in June. I'll explain that. That's a video on its own. I will go further. I will go deeper on that. Why it's done not in summer, in winter. I will go further with that. Go to why it's done in winter and not summer. I will go deeper in that. We're not talking about cleansing now. We are going to have a series of videos whereby we are going to talk about this cleansing is done in this season, and these are the reasons we're going to do that in the near future. Not in the near future, in few weeks. That those are it's service on its own. Today we're talking about ancestors are not always right, guys. Are not. Let's not waste our time and everything. There are people that went to initiation schools to become sangomas, and they were not supposed to. Sadly, I'm sorry if I'm touching some sensitive feelings and experiences. I've seen people in dressed very well and everything, and you can see this person. There was something that was talking to her or him to say, "You're not supposed to," but they trained because they were convinced. Whoever convinced them properly. Sometimes you are well convinced to do something that you're not supposed to in the name of ancestors. Ancestors wants this. No, the problem you have all these challenges is because your ancestors, they want you to twasa, to accept this job you were given by your grandmother from your mother's side, and she's the one that is blocking everything now and everything, and the voice is smooth and everything, and it's all lies. Then you do it. Then things goes worse. Sometimes you are told and then you don't do it. And things goes worse. So ancestors are not always correct. You need to do self-introspection. I don't care if you say, Gogo, I don't dream. Gogo, I don't remember my dreams. Gogo, this, that has to do with the language of ancestors. Yes, I understand. But you don't have to dream the small voice inside your heart. There's a small voice inside your heart that tells you what I'm in a wrong relationship. There's that something you'll be happy with your partner, but that's something that just pops in to say, I'm in a wrong relationship. I'm in a wrong job. I'm in a wrong business. I'm in a wrong community. I'm in a wrong group of friends. There's that. It's a beginning of voice that will just speak. That I call it a beginning voice because most of the time we don't listen to it. That voice will speak to you to say, this person is lying to me. Amba mangalo, feleba. That voice will come, and then you'll press it, and you will call it a demon. Yazi kuyoba khona idemoni njena la ngiphazamisa sithanda sami nakade nguthanda in. Then when you go through the whole thing, then you realize what you should have. That thing was telling you ukuthi ancestors. That small voice, it's a voice that tells you ukuthi ancestors are not always right. When you'll see something as the greatest of opportunity, ukuthi it was lami langinikeza nayi into, kanti you are being framed, you are being scammed. It's not supposed to happen. Because why? Ancestors are not always right. Ancestors are not perfect. Simple. If somebody tells you, if somebody convinces you with ancestors and also goes to an extent of saying ancestors are always right and everything. Yes, I believe so much in ancestors. I worship ancestors. I believe so much in ancestors. I don't have a problem with ancestors, but I understand them. They are not always right. Sometimes you perform a ritual and then you realize, bangafanele, bangafanele. And you need to accept that. You need to accept that. Like somebody saying, I was doing a ritual from my grandmother, from my father's side. It was a grandmother of a grandmother, what, and everything. And when you throw the bones, and the bones says, it was a bribe. It's hard to tell them, but you have to tell them what you were not supposed to do that. This is what you were supposed to do. Then they'll say, I've dreamt about it. I remember something said to me. I said, no. Maybe this thing wants to mislead me. That small voice. It's that small voice that you ignored. Pardon me. We always ignore this small voice until it's too late. Until it's too late. But the question will be, Gogo, what then? What then do we do? This muti. Guys, whether you believe in muti or you don't, that's not an argument. Maybe it's an argument for another day. You have to do something while you are waiting for your ancestors to respond. Obviously, you cannot wait for your ancestors to respond if you haven't done anything that you are expecting the answer from them. But you have to use muti. You can't just wait in vain and not knowing what are you waiting for. You have to make a move. You need to make that call, make that booking, go and see that traditional healer. Get help while you're waiting. Let muti do something while you're waiting. Why? Because if I give you muti, I have a control of that muti. Yes, I don't have things that shy. No, I don't have that. But I have a control. When I give you something, I give you something knowing very well when they use this and this for these reasons, this is what's supposed to happen. But you can't get that from ancestors. You can't. Yes, you know what's supposed to happen, but when you don't know, because it's like you were knocking, it was silence, you came to pay the damages, and then you've brought the damages or the requirements. Then you have to wait for the results. We always wait for the results. You write a driver's license, you wait for results. You go and take firearm license, you wait for the results. We always have to wait for results. You write a matric, you wait for the results. You qualified, you went to varsity, you've written your exams, you have to wait for the results. But those results are different compared to the ancestors, because those results, they have a time frame. Do we have a time frame, Gogo, in results coming from ancestors? No, there's no traditional healer that has that. Don't blame us for something that has to do with your ancestors. It has nothing to do with us. Everything, it has to do with your ancestors, not us, guys. Our skill is to tell you what is happening. Let me give another typical example. Sinesgezo, sabantu abadala. We call it isgezo ska 5 rand. Why do we call it isgezo ska 5 rand? Because this is what it does. I tell you, ukuthi, you were supposed to be eaten amakobong. I tell you, you were supposed to be had a certain cleansing. I tell you, you're supposed to have performed a certain ritual for your grandmother, for your grandfather, for everything. Then you tell me, Gogo, I have done that. Exactly the way you're explaining it, I have done that. Then I suggest, then do this ritual. Because this ritual is going to help you to register, to confirm, to stamp the fact that you have done that, so that it doesn't appear wherever you're going. I tell you that Gogo, you've done an abortion. Then said, yes, Gogo, I've done an abortion and I've done every ritual that is required because I have told my family there's something that I've done. I went to traditional healer, I went back home, I've done everything. So let's say it requires a certain mixture of herbs that requires the blood of a chicken and also requires a milk, and it costs 5 rand. Would you really mind to do that compared to if I tell you we need to do it again and it was costing you plus minus 5, 10, 15, 20, 30,000, depending from a traditional healer and a traditional healer, because we don't use the same herbs, so the value of our muti is not the same. It's up to you. I'm not saying mine is a must to do. All I'm saying is, if you know for sure what you have done it. And I will sometimes say to you, yes, you have done it. It was not done properly. If I say to you it was not done properly, I should be able to tell you why do I say so. Not just in a vacuum. And most of the time, I will send you back to that person to say, please go request her or him to do 1, 2, 3. That's it. Then it's done properly. So while you are waiting for the results, use muti. Get best of the muti. Get the cream of the muti while you are waiting. Gogo, I believe in ancestors, but I don't use muti. I respect that. It's okay. What would you suggest? Nothing. I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. I'm not being funny. I don't know. All I know is it's muti. If you don't use muti, I don't know what you can use. Guys, I'm getting into, I've been researching about how can we intervene as traditional healers when it comes to drug use in terms of teenage age that is in so much drugs. Dacha, Nciga, Mandrax, cocaine, whatever, because these young chaps, they use what they can afford. I am getting a solution for that. I'm getting there. I'm getting there because I need to use the gift that is invested in me to help the society that I'm living in, because it also affects me, because I'm living the same society. So I cannot say your child or my child or their child is smoking dacha or is taking drugs and do nothing about it, and then saying my children, they don't take drugs. Whose parent are those? Are for those children? I'm the parent as well. So I have to do something. So I'm working on that. Yes, thank you for joining me. Today we're talking about ancestors are not perfect, are not always right. For bookings, the number is still the same: 0357995703. 0357995703. Please call the office, make a booking. Guys, please make arrangements for the accommodation. Many people are struggling. We don't have accommodation. Many people are struggling when it comes to accommodation. If you're coming from far, guys, make arrangements. Please phone the office, ask them which hotel or which accommodation can you use that is affordable. You know, they have all those answers. They will give you the contact numbers and everything. The shuttle service is still available, guys, at a very, very, very reasonable price. So please make your way. If you would like to come to the site, make your way, make your booking. We are filling up for the year, and so the better you make a booking, the better you are going to soon get help, wherever, guys, where you're going. Whether you're going to Limpopo, Zimbabwe, and everything, guys, make arrangements, guys. For our sisters, our mothers, our grandparents, and everything. Uh, when the office calls me to say somebody says she's around, she had an appointment for yesterday and she couldn't get in, so she doesn't know where to sleep. She's asking where is the police station. Guys, you can't risk that much. The society that we are living in, it's bad. It's not human. We're not human anymore. Things that happens to women out there, they have somebody with you. I know it's an extra cost, but it's safer for you. It's safer for you. Make arrangements for accommodation. Make arrangements. Ask the office. If they say they don't have a accommodation of that amount at that moment. I'm telling you, ask them to tell me to find it for you. Ask them to say, I said you must assign me to get it for you. I will get it for you so that you are safe at the end of the day. Human trafficking, guys, I'm going to do a video about human trafficking. Human trafficking, it's a big negative business. It's a big negative business. Till next time. Gogo Bathini Mbatha, Locksmith. Let's open those luck and everything. We're going to get into 7 days of Upahla for entrepreneurs. It's gonna be amazing. Thokozani.